Howdy folks. I've already had a hot towel to the face this morning. Took some bloom water and applied it to my face. One of my videos, if you've ever noticed with Google, it translates foreign languages to your native language. And sometimes the translation is hard to understand what was actually being said. So I believe what came through was that somebody was wanting to see a shave with this shavette. This is a Vanta shavette. It takes half blades as well as full DE blades. You see this part right here, it just slides across, which is a little different. And the blade rests inside the post here. And if I've got enough time on the video, I'll take it apart to show you how that works. But this is a Vanta shavette, and it comes by the way of Italy. And today's soap, Italian Barber, smells great. My aftershave pick of the day is just one of my favorites, Aqua Velva Musk. The brush of the day is going to be RazoRock Monster, and I've already got some whipped up. As you can tell, it's a little bit on the moist or wet side. That's just the way I prefer it. Of course, I've got the witch hazel, Allen block from Phoenix, complete with the rubber band. Off camera, I'll be using the Cremo beard balm, and if you haven't seen it before, one of the reasons why I chose it is because it goes well with my hair. It doesn't change the color. And I'm going to go ahead and re-wet the face real quick and get the lathering. I typically, with the shavette, do 2 or 2.5 passes, which works for me. If you're just starting out with the shavette, you can always have a standby razor, which I have one set and ready to go. Today I've got a RazoRock double-edged safety razor with the Mentor head, which I believe is the more aggressive of the heads of the two that I got. I think the other one is Protege. And you see this. If you don't know, Italian Barber makes some pretty good soap. You can see this stuff just goes on without a problem. This has a sweet scent to it. I like sweet scents. Here we go. We'll get started with the first pass here. The blade that's inside the shavette is it's a half blade, pre-cut, Derby Professional. You may have noticed that there's a notch cut out for where that blade is at. So the ends of the blade is actually covered up, and it's just the edge that's showing. It is what I would consider a mild shaver. It's not that you can't cut yourself, but it does make it a little bit easier when you're first starting out to be able to find your angle without almost right out of the gate cut yourself if you don't get the angle right. So in other words, it's a bit more forgiving for somebody just starting out, or maybe you just want an easy shave. At least that's how I feel about it. It's really easy for me to shave with. I still feel like I'm learning with the shavette. I haven't experienced, for instance, a Feather DX, which from what I understand the way it's made, the shave is different. Haven't quite pulled the trigger and buying one. Chances are if I do buy one, it'll be a Camisori style. I do like that style of shavette. To me it seems to, it's just easier to handle. To me it is. I don't know if you can tell or not, but this shavette is, for me, it's pretty easy to maneuver. Just because of the way the ends of the blade are covered up. You don't, guess you might say you don't have to have quite as much attention to detail. You don't have those corners, the toe or the heel to try to get you. But with that notch being cut out like that, I'd have to say I don't get quite as close of a shave as I would with one that's not have a notch in it. So it might be good to use if you got a little bit of irritation but still need to get a shave in, or maybe a cut. I've had my share of nicks and whatnot, so I've kind of learned how to work around them if I get one. I do try to keep these videos a little short. Short being right around the 15-minute mark. Everybody's busy. Got other videos to watch, right? I was into pass number 1 with the face, and get ready for pass number 2. I also kind of feel that if you can get a smooth, comfortable shave with a soap using a shavette, it's got to be pretty decent. Because there's one thing that you really need with a shavette is a soap that has got enough slickness. It's got plenty. You can tell with this Monster brush, it don't take very long to cover your face. And RazoRock's got even a bigger one yet, so I'm not a real tall or a big guy. For some folks, they may have more area cover, especially if you're shaving your head. Bigger brush will make it quicker. Now you can see this covers area quick. You can kind of see to me it's creamy. Alright, pass number 2, against the grain. It's one thing I have picked up, personal experience. The saying is, your mileage may vary. It's how it works for me. I found early on I was overstretching my skin, I felt like. It seemed if I overstretch, it seemed like I got a little bit more irritation than if I do just enough to get the job done. Maybe something you have to experiment with. Try to figure out whether that's the case for you if you're having some issues with it. I have been shaving with a Schick injector, an older model, somewhere in between the mid-30s, mid-40s, 1935 to 1945 in other words. I think is when it was probably produced. Really nice shaver. Seems to give me some pretty good, smooth shaves. The only thing I noticed that was kind of interesting is that when the blade started to go dull, it went down in a hurry, went fast. But I did get 5 shaves with 3 pass shaves. It's not too bad out of one blade. Especially considering that my whiskers are a little on the thick side. They're not real thin. To me, this is a lot of fun to shave with. Like I said, you don't have to pay near as much detail to the toe or the heel of the blade. I think I'm going to go ahead and do across the green on the cheeks. Pre-ret the face. Soap feels nice. Alright. Doesn't take a whole lot for being across the grain on my cheek, so won't need a whole lot of soap up there. Across the grain. It's not too tough to go across the grain, at least for me with this shavette. Yeah, you can kind of tell I miss that camisole style. Shorter handle is easy to maneuver around passes like that. I'm going to go ahead and rinse the face and get ready for the alum block. See how the shave went. I guess you might say it's the report card. Depending on how my face feels, the kind of soap. Some soaps feel like they have a few more moisturizers than others. Sometimes I'll try to work it into my skin. Alum block. Guess you might say the usual places. Noticed on my last shave when the blade was going downhill, getting really dull and tuggy, right down there. was a spot that was got good and irritated. Wasn't real bad, but you know, I could tell that it wasn't real happy right there. Show you this blade real quick. Like I say, it's a sliding mechanism. It just slides right on across. These little posts, these little posts that you may see on each end here, they're not real tall. Let's see if you see that. That groove is not very deep. It's pretty shallow. It's easy to rinse that out. The blade itself, after it's got some soap on it, might be kind of interesting getting loose, but it does just kind of pop out of there. There it is. And there's the blade. Not too tough to come out. I have a blade bank. I have one that you get with the double-edged safety razors, where you just slide it in at the bottom, just poke them in there. Then I have another plastic container that I put that inside of, and I keep those there until it's really time for it to go. So my plastic container, I paid some of $1, whole dollar for it. Inexpensive. Tape it up, put it in the trash can when the time comes. And it's going to be a little weighty. It's not a real big container, but that all those blades do start to add to some weight. It's pretty easy on the cleanup. See if I can do this on the camera. Alright, so I get it started there on the edge. Slides across. There it is. And there's the notch that I was referring to, if I didn't get a good picture of it. So your toe, your heel and your toe here is covered up. It does make it easier to shave with and less risk of a cut. It's a nice shavette. Got it by the way of gifts and care. Alright, time for some witch hazel. Yep, this video's running a little bit long. Kind of happens when you're talking about various parts of the shave. They do get a little long. Witch hazel on my head helps the skin on my head since it sees a lot of weather, let's say. It exposed a lot of the time. Aqua Velva Musk. And there's Restrictor. I like those size. Good size. You don't have to work real hard to get some to come out. Some gets everywhere, it gets everywhere. Doesn't bother me none. Some like to use the spray. I don't like it getting close to my eyes. Stuff's got alcohol in it, that's not going to feel too good. In other words, I don't trust myself not to spray myself in the eye. Well, I hope everybody's doing well, and smooth shaves to you. Until next time, catch you later.